In the immediate aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, the United States was thrust into a state of emergency. All domestic and international flights were grounded, marking the first time in U.S. history that such drastic measures were taken. The American public, and indeed the world, watched in horror as the events unfolded, struggling to comprehend the scale of the tragedy. President George W. Bush, who was in Florida at the time of the attacks, quickly returned to Washington, D.C. and addressed the nation that evening. In his speech, he vowed to hunt down those responsible and bring them to justice, declaring a war on terror that would become a defining aspect of his presidency. Bush's words were aimed at reassuring a nation in shock, while also signaling to the world that the United States would not be cowed by acts of terror. The immediate response also saw an outpouring of support and solidarity from around the globe. Nations expressed their condolences and offered assistance, recognizing the attacks as not just an assault on the United States, but on the principles of freedom and democracy worldwide. Domestically, the attacks prompted a re-evaluation of security protocols and emergency preparedness. The legacy of this immediate aftermath is felt in the continued emphasis on national security and counterterrorism efforts. In response to the 9/11 attacks, the U.S. government moved swiftly to prevent future terrorism. The USA Patriot Act, signed by President Bush on October 26, 2001, expanded law enforcement powers. It aimed to improve detection and disruption of terrorist activities. Critics argued it infringed on civil liberties, while supporters emphasized national security. The debate reflects a broader tension between security and liberty post 9/11. In the wake of the September 11th attacks, security measures across the United States and indeed the world underwent significant changes. One of the most visible areas of transformation was in airport security. Prior to September 11th, security protocols at airports were relatively lax by today's standards, with minimal screening of passengers and baggage. The attacks highlighted the vulnerabilities in this system, prompting a comprehensive overhaul aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future. The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, was established in November 2001 to oversee security in all modes of transportation, with a particular focus on aviation. New procedures were implemented, including more rigorous passenger screening, the use of full-body scanners, and restrictions on carry-on items such as liquids and gels. These changes, while often inconvenient for travelers, were deemed necessary to ensure the safety of air travel. Internationally, airports adopted similar measures, reflecting a global consensus on the need for enhanced security. The legacy of these enhancements is a heightened awareness of the need for vigilance and preparedness in the face of evolving threats. The September 11th attacks led to U.S. military engagements in Afghanistan and Iraq, shaping the geopolitical landscape. In October 2001, President Bush launched Operation Enduring Freedom, targeting al-Qaeda and the Taliban.